This has been a 10 months unlike anything that I have ever experienced. And in regards to stakeholder management, this is what we do. We're trying to manage for our community, not just our customers, not just our employees, but now more than ever, I think, for our communities. And when we look at the things that we've had to do in the last 10 months, PPE, contact tracing, vaccine management, and even supporting, as you mentioned, small businesses where we've been giving out grants to our small business customers and to our ecosystem, this is not the year that we expected to have.
How much of a pivot has it been for your business, getting into things like vaccine management, vaccine clouds, and vaccination passports, work.com, which you're doing for your customers to help them open safely? How big of a portion is it of your overall business?
Well, we have completely ripped up our business plan from last year, and we wrote an entirely new business plan. And it was really built on three ideas. One is that we're all working and living at home. So we have to be able to sell from home. We have to be able to service from home, market from home, conduct commerce from home. We need to be able to collaborate from home. That's why we just bought Slack for $27 billion, because we have to rebuild our whole company to become an at-home, at-work, remote organization. And every company does. And two, we have to help our customers connect with their customers and their employees in entirely new ways. And that's another huge part of everything we're doing. And the third thing is we have to be more stakeholder-based than ever before. We can't just be managing for our shareholders. We also have to be managing for our stakeholders as well, which is why it's so critical that we're doing this work for cities, for states, for nation states, whether it's PPE or contact tracing or vaccine management. This is the most important thing that we're doing. We're doing work that's really holistic for our whole company. Mm-hmm. Look, we're not going to be successful if our community isn't successful. That's why we have to bring all this together.
On that point, what do you think has gone wrong at some of these local governments and the federal government? You're working with California now, for instance, on the vaccine management platform. That was announced, I think, this week. Pfizer came out November 9th with the data that showed that its vaccine is going to be more than 90% effective. Almost 3 months later, they're among the slowest in vaccinations versus what has been shipped to them. What do you think has been the problem?
Well, I just saw the Edelman Trust survey came out this week, and corporations appear to be more trusted than governments, even more trusted than non-governmental organizations. And this has been a year that has really, I think, put a spotlight on, on CEOs, on corporations. Look, the heroes that we have are truly our frontline workers, but CEOs and companies have also stepped way up this year. That is a material fact. And yes, the vaccine companies have delivered. Other companies have come along to be able to deliver the infrastructure, but we need a more functional government, not just in the U.S., but around the world, who can deploy and manage through a pandemic. This year, that has been the greatest struggle.
Thinking of taking care of your communities and your state, San Francisco strong, what do you make of some of these other big tech companies, Oracle, Hewlett-Packard Enterprises, bailing on California and going to Texas, where they pay lower taxes and face fewer regulations?
Well, I think this is really more about, every company, including ours, is kind of leaving their traditional headquarters and they're moving into some incredible new place, and that's called the cloud. The reality is we're all moving into the cloud. We're all moving into a digital environment. It's not that they're moving into any one physical state. You're not moving. I'm not moving. We're in the cloud. And we've been talking about that for 21 years, that, we're all moving into the cloud. And companies and individuals who have moved into the cloud, those are the ones who are the most successful today. It's the ones who have not moved into the cloud who are the ones who are struggling and having difficulty. So, look, we have to move faster. We need a digital transformation. We all need to move into the cloud. We all need to move. When these companies are saying that they're moving, it's strategic. Yes, they're moving. They're moving into the cloud. If that isn't your focus, then I think you have an issue. So every company does need to move. I don't think we're going to be moving into physical states. I think we're in a new digital world. We're not going back. And we have to kind of reconceptualize who we are and how we operate in this new world.
You don't think any of it has been pulled forward? In other words, all of this spending that we've seen as companies have moved digitally, as you say, and into the cloud for services. What's going to happen this time next year? Isn't there going to be a big drop-off because of all this accelerated spending right now?
we're not seeing a pull forward of spending. We're seeing a rebalancing of spending, a repositioning of spending. I'm doing that in my own business as well. I'm spending less on real estate this year. I'm spending more on digital services. Okay, I'm spending less on physical events. I'm spending more on digital events. I'm spending less on the things that I was doing in person, and I'm spending more on things that are digital and in the cloud. So I think that when it comes to next year, it's not that I'm going to go and lease a lot more space, as an example, right? I am going to be doing more digitally. And I think this is what every company is doing. I think this is what every CEO is doing.
Shepard Smith here. Thanks for watching CNBC on YouTube.